Barnaby Jones, starring Buddy Epson, also starring Lee Merriweather, with guest stars Belinda J. Montgomery, Christopher Stone, Dabney Coleman, Patricia Smith, Peggy McKay. Tonight's episode, Blind Terror.
That was perfect. You know that? Say, you know what Mark Spitz is doing right now? He's eating his heart out. Okay, here you go. It's never the babies who are scared, only their mothers. Hope I haven't kept you, Mr. Jones.
Not at all, Miss Benedict. Lovely girl, your daughter. Of course, she realized that the way things are today, the police have their hands full. Must be a lot of worried parents looking for missing daughters. Michelle is over 18, isn't she?
21. Mr. Jones, I'm somewhat of an authority on parents who panic, and I'm not one of them.
When is the last time you heard from Michelle?
Friday.
Well, there's only 2 days. She usually call in over the weekend?
Yes. I phoned her apartment. I've checked with her friends. She didn't show up for work over the weekend, and she didn't go to school yesterday or today.
She live alone?
No. Poor Amy. It's her roommate. She had a terrible fall down the stairs, and she's in the hospital right now.
Did you try to contact Amy about Michelle?
The last time she saw Michelle was Friday morning in their French class. Now, all of this is just not like Michelle.
Boyfriend?
Oh, so many, I lose track. Number one right now is Eric... somebody. Mr. Jones, I'm really worried half to death.
Miss Benedict, when I was learning how to swim, I used to worry something fierce about how deep the water was underneath me, how far it was to the bottom. But you and I know that that's nothing to worry about, as long as you keep swimming.
You're a very persuasive man, Mr. Jones. I just hope and pray you're right.
Benedict, Miss Benedict.
Oh, I'm sorry. You'll have to excuse me again. Okay. Practice another dive. Come on. Hey, put your hands up there. That's it. All right. Easy. Okay, go easy. That's the boy. Just go.
So the last time you saw Michelle was Friday morning at your French class.
That's right. And that's the only class we have together on Fridays.
But you came home that night expecting to find her in the apartment you shared.
Yes. For all I know, she was there.
Did you go inside the apartment?
No. I remember scrounging around in my purse for my door key as I was going up the stairs. When I got to this top step, I found it. And then I must have tripped or something.
That's the last you remember?
I'm afraid so. In fact, now I've lost my door key. In the fall, I guess.
Michelle was dating a young man named Eric.
Uh-huh. Eric Rome. Eric trains animals for TV commercials. He rents this old place from my uncle out in Saugus.
I'd like to talk to Eric.
Michelle has his number in her address book. She keeps it in a drawer under the television.
You won't mind my going through your apartment, Amy?
No. Mrs. Selby or her son Argus will let you in. They manage the building.
I guess you two can meet properly now. This is Amy Partridge, Mr. Jones.
Thank you. Amy, would you say that this was a good likeness of Michelle?
I guess nobody told you, huh?
I'm sorry.
It's a real crack-up. Me blind. I can't really believe it yet myself.
Hi, I'm Barnaby Jones. I called...
About the key.
Yeah.
I got it right here.
Here, I'll show you the apartment.
Left your door open.
For the phone. Mother's going shopping.
Mr. Selby,
Oh, Argus, please. It's a name I'm very proud of. It means the watchful guardian.
From Argus. The guardian with 100 eyes, in mythology. Greek, wasn't he?
You're right. The guardian with 100 eyes. You're the first person I ever met that knew that.
Well, I had a friend who sold sunglasses during the Depression. He used to have this dream. He kept dreaming that Argus was his steady customer. Argus, you didn't happen to find any of Amy Partridge's keys, did you?
Well, a lot of things spilled out of her purse, and I replaced them. And the purse went to hospital with Amy. There's no keys, though.
How long did they live here?
Almost a year.
Fine-looking girls.
Well, I think Michelle was, I don't know, she's too flashy. You know, it's terrible about Amy being blind. Wonder why it always happens to good ones.
You liked Amy?
Well, we never went out or anything.
Michelle?
No, I never asked her. I mean, guys stand in line to take her out. Lots of guys. Maybe that's where Michelle is now.
Argus? Did the girls bring in anybody to do the cleaning?
No, they did it all themselves. They really kept the place spotless. They vacuum it twice a day.
It's funny, they vacuumed right past his shoelace.
It's not mine. I only wear slip-ons. You know, loafers. You know, there was never even a dirty dish in the sink. I really have to say as much for Michelle. You know, I've been thinking about going visit Amy in the hospital. That's our phone. You make yourself at home.
Find anything?
This shoelace was broken. And it's new.
Well, guess who was nosing around the girl's apartment?
Michelle's boyfriend, Eric.
That's right. A car fitting your description, complete with the number 47, belongs to an Eric Rome. Information courtesy of the Apollo Car Club. He races on weekends in the amateur division.
Amy said this Eric trains animals for TV commercials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he lives with his furry friends out in Saugus. Michelle's boyfriend. Small world.
That's because you don't have to drive all the way out to Saugus. You know, this doesn't surprise me half as much as finding Amy's keys inside the apartment.
You said she never even unlocked the door.
Yeah, she was pretty definite about that. I wonder why.
What do you want?
I'm looking for Eric Rome.
What for?
I don't think we were properly introduced the last time. In fact, I'm looking for Michelle Benedict.
What last time?
Can we talk about Michelle?
Okay.
Eric's Ark. Should be a Mrs. Eric, you know, 2 for every species.
There isn't. Thought you wanted to talk about Michelle.
Why did you run away from Michelle's apartment?
Because I'm a runner.
Not a talker, I understand. If a talker had been compromised the way you were, he would have lied himself past me.
That other guy spoke to you like you were a cop. I don't dig cops.
I'm a private investigator, and you don't have to dig me, Mr. Rome. Just tell me whether the book helped you.
What book?
Michelle's address book.
I never saw it.
Eric, I have reason to believe that Michelle is in serious trouble.
Look, I got 28 animals I gotta feed. I don't have time to talk.
Eric, you did go back and break into the apartment to tidy up.
I was just trying to find Michelle.
When's the last time you saw her?
Thursday night? Listen, if I knew anything, I'd tell you. See, these last few weeks, well, we really hit it off.
Including Thursday night?
Especially Thursday night. No sign of her now for 5 days. Thought she might be out with some other guy whose number'd be in that book. Started calling the M's.
Why don't you get the book and leave that to me?
Look, she's my girl. I'm gonna handle this my way.
You took that address book. Let's see, that's breaking and entering, possession of stolen property, possible interference with a criminal investigation.
Okay. Okay. Okay, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on. Get down here.
Thanks. I'm glad I didn't have to go hunting for it.
Oh, there's nothing stranger than someone else's kitchen. bet those roses could use some water.
Still a watchful guardian, Argus?
Oh, Amy's back. I was just gonna knock. I was gonna see if I could be of any help.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, huh? Argus? Oh, Mr. Jones, come in. Hi. How are you?
Argus, the flowers are from you, aren't they?
I hope you like them. I guess you got the key I had made for you.
You're very thoughtful.
Well, I just want to welcome you home.
Thank you.
Strange young man.
Could we offer you anything, Mr. Jones?
Oh, no, thank you.
Any word yet on Michelle, Mr. Jones?
Well, I'm afraid not, Amy, but I think I found something that you lost.
My door keys. Where on earth did you find them?
Amy, are you sure that you didn't open your door that night, step inside, and then remembering something you left in your car, stepped out again, and then you took your phone?
I'm positive. How could I forget something like that?
Do you or Michelle have a pair of old brown shoes with laces? It's hard to tell these days, but I would say men's shoelaces.
No? Why?
I found one in here, and it's kind of like finding a billiard table in the honeymoon suite. You gotta wonder what it's doing there.
Maybe Argus. He let himself in with the roses.
Well, I've got to get back to work, and I've got that appointment with the vet. We've got a very sick Doberman on our hands.
Go ahead, dear. We'll be all right.
All right. Amy, I just want you to know that you're going to have the best of care. The finest specialists, whatever it takes.
I know that. Thank you.
Bye-bye, honey.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Mr. Jones.
Now, don't worry about us. I'll call you later at the office.
Good.
Amy, this lamp on the end table, how'd it get broken?
It isn't. I mean, that lamp's brand new, Mr. Jones.
Well, there's a piece broken out of the base here. Were you going to glue that back in?
If that lamp's been damaged, I just don't know how that happened.
Mr. Jones, what are you inferring?
Well, it's just possible that things went on in here that we don't know anything about yet.
Barnaby's told me how you teach those little ones to swim. That must be very rewarding work. I'm sorry you have to wait here so long. Let me see how he's doing.
The stain on this piece of lamp is blood, all right. AB negative, the rarest.
Well, that rules out Amy. She's type O.
What about Michelle?
Barnaby, Mrs. Benedict is so despondent already. I was afraid if I asked her, she'd...
Well, we gotta know. The sooner the better.
I was kind of hoping you'd handle it.
Well, did you find anything? I'm sorry. I'm getting very anxious.
Oh, nothing conclusive, Mrs. Benedict. Well, I meant to ask you, does Michelle have any scars, any identifying marks?
That's an ominous question.
Oh, this is just for our office file.
Oh. Well, yes, there is a scar. Michelle had a serious operation a few years ago.
Oh, what was the nature of the operation?
She was in an accident. She suffered a ruptured spleen. I was very worried about her. It was really touch and go for a while.
I suppose there was a lot of internal bleeding. Did she have many transfusions?
Yes, that's what made it so serious. Her blood type is very rare, AB negative.
Eric! Eric, it's Barnaby Jones! Eric? Eric? Eric?
Okay, baby. Okay. Now you see why I don't lock my door. He gets loose once in a while. Anything I can do for you?
I'll let you know. Perfect match. Take a look for yourself. See how the threads fit together?
This means the shoelace that you found in Eric's shack.
Matches the one that I found in Michelle and Amy's apartment.
Well, you can add to that what I came in to tell you. Lieutenant Hager returned your call. Eric Rome does have a record. 2 counts of assault.
That makes him a pretty good suspect.
Yes, and he knows that, too. That's probably why he set the cat on you.
Betty, that number in Michelle's address book that didn't have a name attached.
Oh, yes. Valley Vista Motel.
When was that young lady last registered here?
Devious, Mr. Jones, the way you worded that question. The inference is that I have seen her. And now you want to know when and how often.
Neat the way you avoided the question, Mr. Strather.
You're more than just a concerned parent.
Private investigator.
We're a motel in a very romantic setting, Mr. Jones. In my business, we have professional ethics.
And in mine. We know how to honor a confidence. Now, I could plant myself in your lobby or down there at the pool and whip out this photograph and start asking all sorts of questions.
All right, all right. I've noticed her. I mean, what man wouldn't? Stunning girl.
Who was she with?
No one. She was alone.
You sure?
We always notice a stunner like that when she registers alone, Mr. Jones.
Well, couldn't somebody have come up and joined her in her room later?
It's possible. Mr. Jones, some of our guests use great discretion. This is a community of thousands of familiar faces, and it's quite possible that some companion came to a room while she was here and left before she checked out. I have no idea who the gentleman was.
Excuse me. Hello, Eric. What are you doing here?
I've got as much right here as you do, Jones, so lay off, huh?
I'd like to, but how do I know that anonymous visitor in Michelle's room here wasn't you?
I came here for the same reason you did. I told you. I got through calling the M's in her book. I found this number in there.
I found something, too. I found the other piece of this shoelace in a pair of your shoes in your closet.
Well, so what does that prove?
Could prove that you were in the girl's apartment the night Michelle disappeared.
Forget it, Jones. I don't even own a pair of laces that color.
And how'd they get in your shoes?
But somebody must have planted him there. My door's always open. You know, you wandered in, didn't you?
Expect me to believe that?
Nobody's ever called me a liar, old man.
It's always the first time for everything, Sonny.
Amy, don't you have any curry powder either?
Not unless it comes frozen.
It's your favorite dish and you don't have half the ingredients? Oh, I should have brought more groceries when I had your Uncle Paul here to carry them for me. Well, listen, it won't take me 10 minutes to run down to that little market on the corner. You won't mind being alone for just a few minutes, Amy, will you?
Might as well start getting used to it.
Amy?
Besides, I need some cream rinse. I'll be shampooing while you're gone, okay?
Well, I don't think you can drown in the bathroom sink. I'll be right back.
Forget something, Aunt Helen? Who is it? Who's there? Who are you? What do you want? I know someone's here. Michelle? Is it you? Answer me. Who is it? Please. Please speak to me.
Amy? Barnaby Jones. Unlock the door. Open it up or I'll break it in. What's the matter?
Someone was just here, I know it. Aunt Ellen went to the market.
You wait here. It's all right, Amy. He's gone now.
What's to keep him from coming back?
Amy. Just now you saw something, didn't you?
No. Of course not. How could I see anything?
I heard Amy call. I came to see if I could help. What happened?
It was exactly as though she saw the pistol. I mean, actually saw it. Doctor, does that mean anything?
A gun usually symbolizes jeopardy. Mr. Jones, you may have found the last piece of the puzzle. Does the term hysterical blindness mean anything to you?
No, but I once ran across a case of hysterical paralysis. I had a client who could find her a wheelchair. A parade specialist could find nothing wrong with him. And one day the wheelchair broke. He started to roll down a driveway toward a busy street.
And his power to walk suddenly returned to him.
That's right. The traffic represented jeopardy.
Just as your gun did to Amy. For one instant, self-preservation overrode her need to be blind. That must be it, Mr. Jones. And it explains why we haven't been able to find any physical damage that would account for her blindness.
The way I figure, she saw something that frightened her so she blocked out the memory of what she saw, along with the sight that had enabled her to see it.
Exactly. And you think this relates in some way to her missing roommate?
That's what I'm afraid of. It would explain, for one thing, why I found Amy's keys inside the apartment. I figure Amy unlocked the door, stepped inside, saw something, backed away, and took her fall.
She may well have been blind before she fell.
It also explains the blood on the lamp, the broken light bulb, and the hurried attempt to make it look as if nothing had happened in that room.
So you think she saw Michelle and some kind of assailant?
I think that Amy saw something terrible happen to Michelle. You had it up, Betty. There was a struggle in the apartment. Amy walked in on it. The intruder saw her. She saw him.
He has to make sure that she never gets a chance to identify him.
If I'm right, he knows she's an eyewitness to whatever he did to Michelle.
Why is he risking coming back when he knows the eyewitness is blind and has blocked out all memory of what happened?
Because he knows that when Amy hears the truth, she will see and she will remember.
Is it that simple?
No. No, it isn't. Because Amy doesn't want to hear the truth. And she will fight to keep from hearing it.
She'd rather be blind than remember the awful thing that happened to Michelle.
Exactly.
Barnaby, I forgot. The information you wanted on Argus Selby. He spent 1970 and 1971 in a San Diego mental hospital. He was committed by his mother after an attempted assault on a young woman.
Well, isn't this interesting?
From what you've told me of Argus, he hardly seems the type to have clandestine meetings in the Valley Vista Motel.
Why not? Eric has his place out in Saugus. Argus can hardly entertain at home because he lives there with his mother.
Well, then it's a good thing her aunt insisted that Amy move out to the beach house. At least those two women aren't alone in that apartment. If you hadn't scared off that prowler...
You know, Betty, Amy has all the answers. It's my job to find the right question.
I've got a week on location with 8 of my animals. It goes Monday. I'll be able to pay you all the back rent 2 weeks after that.
At which time you'll be another month overdue.
2 or 3 lousy weeks is all I'm asking.
Now look, I'll give you 3 more weeks to come up with it, and that is it.
Who's following who today, Joan?
Eric, I want you to stay around a while.
Sure, why not?
Mr. Jones, I told you exactly what happened the night I fell.
I know that, Amy. I wonder if you understand why I'm asking all these questions.
To a point. But you seem to think that I know more about what happened to Michelle than I'm telling.
It's just possible, Amy, that you know more than you realize.
You're not making any sense.
Amy, listen to me. If it sounds like I don't believe you, or that I'm trying to trick you, please trust me when I say that my only interest is in finding Michelle or in helping you. Will you believe that?
All right.
Now, how did you and Michelle get along?
Great. Oh, she's a lot more aggressive and outgoing than I am, but I admire that in her. And
No big arguments.
Mr. Jones, this is taking a rather bizarre turn.
I'm trying to establish that Amy was very fond of Michelle. Now, let's go back to the night of your accident. You told me that you had the key to your apartment in your hand.
yes,
I think that you opened the door.
I told you I didn't.
You stepped inside.
No, I was never inside.
And you heard something that sounded like a struggle.
There wasn't. I didn't go inside.
You were scared. Matter of fact, you were terrified.
That isn't the way it happened.
You screamed. You dropped the key where I found it.
Oh, please stop it.
And then you turned and ran.
Make him stop, please. It's all lies. Please stop.
Mr. Jones, you're going much too far.
My wife is right, you know. I think Amy's into another.
Play kind of rough, don't you, Jones?
Could we go into another room, please? Amy's reaction to my questions confirms what the doctor has already told you folks, that her blindness is hysterical. I keep trying to bring the truth into focus, and she just won't face it.
It seems to me you're exploiting our niece to solve your case.
Now, it does come off that way, Jones.
Maybe a certain amount of truth in that, but I'd like to leave here with my case solved, but what's more important, with Amy's sight restored.
It all sounds very far-fetched.
Your niece is in jeopardy. Whoever it was hiding in her apartment isn't going to call off his plans just because you moved her out here.
There's someone out there.
Argus Selby, were you expecting him?
Heavens, no. Oh, now he has the dogs upset and one of them's sick.
Now, I'll take a look at the dogs.
I'll go see what Argus is up to. You come with me, Eric. Lose your way, Argus?
Mr. Jones? No. I just thought I'd visit Amy.
It's just me, honey.
You startled me. I didn't hear you come in.
Where's your aunt?
Making some tea?
Now, this has been pretty difficult for you, hasn't it, Pigeon?
I just don't know what Mr. Jones wants me to say.
Well, maybe we'll just call it quits on him.
Can we?
Now, when was I ever able to say no to you?
You're the greatest uncle in the world.
Say, you know, what does it for me when I've been through the ringer?
What?
A nice, long walk.
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
Miss Cleveland? You know where Amy is?
Well, no, I don't. I left her right here.
I better take a look outside.
Paul, Mr. Jones said that the doctor had a long talk with you and Aunt Ellen.
Yes. Helped us to understand what's happened to you. It's called hysterical blindness.
Tell me about it.
It's really kind of complicated.
Please.
Well, the one thing I keep remembering is how your blindness may have been caused by the sight of someone very near and dear to you doing something that shocked you, something that shattered your image in that person.
That would be Michelle, according to the questions Mr. Jones keeps asking me.
That's right. Michelle was very dear to you.
I wish you wouldn't keep saying was.
You saw the drop, didn't you, Amy? Just as you saw the pistol when I put it back in my holster. Your uncle led you to the edge, didn't he?
I don't know what you mean.
Did you know how close you were?
No, Uncle Paul?
You saw what happened to Michelle.
No, that's not true.
You unlocked your apartment door, you let yourself in, you dropped the key.
Stop it! I didn't. That's not the way it happened. Oh, please make him stop.
You saw Michelle. You saw a struggle. The apartment was in a shambles. You saw a man there, Michelle's killer. You saw him, Amy, just as you're seeing him now.
It was you. It was you.
You tried to make it look as if Eric did it. You even planted the shoelaces on him.
Amy, she was going to stop seeing me because of that kid. She'd fallen in love with him. I couldn't let her go. She threatened to tell your aunt.
You killed Michelle. You murdered her.
Amy! Cleveland! Where did you bury Michelle?
In the woods.
Take him to my car and stay with him. Let's go home now, Amy. Barnaby Jones.
starring Buddy Ebsen. Also starring Lee Merriweather. With guest stars Tim O'Connor, Brooke Bundy, Ramon Birai, Susan Howard, Jonathan Lippy. Tonight's episode, Death Leap.
I'm a doctor. I want to help you. Can you tell me your name?
Leave me alone! Stay away from me!
Shut the door. Shut it. Up against the wall. Over the safe. Open the safe. Open it. Get him back.
Attention all units in the vicinity of 5th and Main. A 211 in progress at Whitman Building, 8th floor, Manhoff Gems, code 3.
bet he's having trouble with his wife.
Oh, Peter. Oh.
Oh, my.
It's such a beautiful car.
Are you surprised?
I just came outside and there it was. I thought it belonged to somebody else until I read your note.
Oh, really?
I really don't need all those things. You are going to spoil me.
Well, I'm going to do my best anyway. Why not? You're the most important thing in my whole life. Your partners are waiting.
How about joining us?
No, not right now. We've got a little work to do.
I'll see you later.
All right.
Roy wouldn't do it. I know.
How do you know, Miss Phillips?
Because he just wasn't the type to kill himself. He was never depressed.
Well, now, that's hard to say. You see people who go along apparently on top, and then one day they put a gun to their heads.
But not Roy. He was up, and lately he was really up. He was so excited.
Do you know why?
Something about a new job.
What kind of a job?
I'm not sure exactly.
What kind of work did Roy do?
Roy did everything. You name it. He was a handyman, a gardener, groundskeeper, a carpenter. But most of all, he was a clown.
Clown? You mean a clown? As in funny?
As in clown. He'd go to kids' parties and supermarket openings, hospital. But most of all, Roy liked to make people laugh.
I think that's great. To be a clown. Grimaldi, Pagliacci, all the great clowns with their baggy clothes and bouquets of carrots.
That was Roy.
And their painted-on smiles hiding all the sadness underneath.
Roy was not sad, and he didn't kill himself.
You're pretty sure of this, aren't you?
Yes. You've got to help me prove it.
You go to the police for this?
Well, I feel kind of silly going to the police.
Where did Roy live?
Next to me in the canyon. I
Could show you.
Let's go.
This is nice. It's really very nice.
It's almost a shame Roy's not here to see it.
Almost, but not quite, Frank.
The pie is always a little bit tastier when the pieces are bigger. Besides, like you said, it was an accident. He lost his balance.
That's right.
How much you think we're going to get?
Well, it's impossible to say.
You said that new shipment alone was worth more than $1.5 million.
On the open market, not to a fence. Don't worry, I'll see we get a good price.
We'll make it soon. I don't like hanging around here any longer than I have to.
Well, if you care to, I can always have your share forwarded to you.
It's all right. I'll wait.
Danny?
Yes.
Peter Harris.
Oh, Peter. It's always a pleasure to hear your voice.
I'll have that money for you in a day or two.
Oh? Is that a day or two?
Two.
Got it. I'm marking that down.
Don't put me on now, Danny. This time it's for sure.
Oh, you got a sure thing, huh, Peter? You know, gamblers pick up such interesting phrases. Now, you've got a sure thing. Big odds?
I'm not gambling for this money.
I certainly hope not. Now, I marked down the number 2 in my appointment book, Peter. Let's see, that would be Thursday. Now, if you don't show up on Thursday, on Friday, I'm going to have to...
You'll have it on Thursday.
Relax. There's always a first time for everything. Our mutual friend did say it was your first time, didn't he? It doesn't matter. Amateur or pro, I predict a real future for you. $425,000.
They're worth almost $2 million.
Not to me.
Then there's no deal.
Maybe I missed something. Ah, yes, a simple oversight. I think I can go 450.
5.
Why quibble?
I'll have to have cash.
You didn't expect me to give you a personal check, did you? I'll have to have a day or so to get the money. I was right about you. You have a future.
You would have liked him, Mr. Jones. He loved to make people laugh. The kid made him this.
I just can't get it out of my mind that clowns are traditionally melancholy.
You still don't believe me, do you?
I believe you were in love. Is he?
Yes.
You didn't tell me that he had actually been with a circus.
He never mentioned it to me.
I wonder what else he didn't mention.
Oh, up here. Yeah, I'll be down in a minute. There's a delivery truck over at my house. I'll be right back. Roy, the delivery man said he ordered these 3 days ago to be delivered today.
Sorry I had to run off on business. Be back tonight. Now we can get married. I love you, Roy.
Does that sound like a man who could commit suicide?
No. No, it surely doesn't. But what was he doing out there on that ledge? No need for an autopsy?
No. Death by massive concussion.
Funny about that right kneecap.
Well, there were a lot of broken bones.
Yeah, the upper part of the body, but the upper part of the body is the heavy part of the body. It dictates a fall. Roy Hazen landed head first, right?
Right.
And how did he get a smashed right kneecap?
Maybe it got twisted under him somehow.
Does that satisfy you? Doesn't satisfy me. Thanks, Jim.
Barnaby, what are you driving at?
I don't know yet. Could you hold that, please?
Hold that, Harry.
Sorry I'm late. I talked to Sergeant Danvers. Roy Hazen did have a police record. And nothing much. About 8 years ago, he was tried and convicted on a bunco charge in Lima, Ohio.
That must have been when he was with the circus. Well, at least now we know he had a little larceny in his heart. Okay, roll it down.
Roll it. Coming up is that other angle I told you about, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, that's the one. You notice the way he checks his watch? Wonder why he did that. In some earlier footage, his right knee seemed to give way.
Lost his balance?
Who took his film?
Paul Franklin.
From where?
The 8th floor Whitman building.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
We're all through, Harry. Thanks.
Pigeon watching, Barnaby?
Hello, Lieutenant. Yes, some of them carry messages.
Well, that's how you get your information.
You here on the Van Huff robbery?
I got one more tenant on this floor to question, a lawyer.
What are your thoughts on the connection between the leaper and the robbery?
Well, we were working on that theory, but we can't tie them together.
Seems neat. Leaper attracts the crowds, ties up traffic. The squad cars can't get through.
I know.
Coincidence?
So far, unless we can prove otherwise.
I don't believe in coincidences.
Mr. Harris?
Yes?
I'm Lieutenant Hager.
Oh, yes, Lieutenant. My secretary told me you'd stop by. I'm sorry I've been so busy. As a matter of fact, I'm on my way right now.
Just one question or two. I have to check everyone on this floor who was here during the time of the burglary. It's just routine.
I see.
Now, your secretary said that you were in your office from 2 to 5:30 on the afternoon of the burglary?
Yes, that's right.
Did you step out into the corridor at all during that time?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's your office back there in the corner. You had a better view of the leaper than I did from where I was standing.
Barnaby Jones, Peter Harris.
How do you do? Well, that's quite possible, Mr. Jones, but I'm not sure where you were standing.
Well, did you see him when he first came out on the ledge?
No, I didn't.
Say, do you mind if I come up to your office sometime and take a look with these?
No, not at all, not at all. Thank you. Nice to meet you, gentlemen.
Got time for a cup of coffee, Barnaby?
No, thanks. Got to see a lady about a circus.
Hey! Barnaby! Oh, Barnaby! It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you, but it's getting more difficult to see you.
Yeah! Gee, ain't this great? Lost 237 pounds.
Lost 200.
No, you won't find them around here. Same old Barnaby.
Imagine, I've known you since you were that big around.
Well, they say in every fat person there's a skinny one screaming to get out. I screamed, and here I am.
That's great, Flo.
Oh, I don't know that it is. I miss the circus. Always will.
Yeah, it went out of style.
Along with the fat lady. Oh, I'm married now. There's Jack Spratt. He's my Weight Watcher.
Flo. You know him?
Oh, sure, that's Roy. Roy Hazen, the clown. Gee, he was great.
Funny, huh?
Oh, more than that. He went high.
Aerialist?
More money in it.
A guy like that wouldn't have been afraid of heights.
What's not's where he lives. Roy all right?
Roy's dead.
Gee, I'm sorry to hear that. What happened?
Well,
Poor clown.
Flo, where would a guy like that go to keep in shape?
To a gym, I'd imagine.
Any particular one?
Mike's in Santa Monica. A lot of the refugees from the circus work out there.
Thanks, Flo. And don't lose any more weight. I may not be able to find you again.
Barnaby! Heads up!
Honey, don't give me that.
I'm sorry, sir.
Look, first you put me on hold, then you tell me he's not in.
Mr. Harris was in earlier, then he left.
And I just keep missing him, huh?
That's right, sir.
Where'd he go?
I don't know, sir.
I told you, I don't like that smooth talking.
Take it easy, Ed.
He's crossed us.
It takes time to fence that stuff.
He's had time. 10 to 1 he's in Mexico right now, living it up big on our money.
Trouble just getting out of bed in the morning.
Hey, you know, Roy Hazen, he could do all that stuff. Acrobats, aerialists, funambulists.
Funambulist?
Yeah, a rope walker. Used to string a slack rope from the ceiling, work up high on it. Last couple of weeks, as a matter of fact.
Did he ever get any jobs rope walking?
Oh, yeah, that's why he started working up high again. He had a job with a sportsman show, dancing on a high slack rope.
Well, thanks for the information, Mike.
Oh, say, I don't know, this might be something. There was this guy came in here right after the sportsman show closed. And he called Roy over and they talked. And that's the last time he worked out here. Last time I saw him.
Would you recognize the man?
Oh, I don't know. They were over by the door.
Was he, thin, fat, short, tall, young, old?
Oh, about 6 feet, early 40s maybe. Good-looking guy. Not a guy that works out. You know, he was an office type, had a briefcase.
Thanks.
Juice? Yes. It's all there. Don't worry.
Well, each time you're a little later, Peter. But we don't worry.
At 200% interest, I don't know why you should.
That's strictly business.
Maybe I should contact Gamblers Anonymous.
Oh, don't. Try instead our champagne flight to Las Vegas. There's a free bus trip to Lake Mead.
No, thank you.
You don't have to gamble, Peter. Take along your tackle. You can fish Lake Mead.
Oh, it all happened so fast that it seems like a dream now. No, it's more like a nightmare.
Yeah, I know. I read the police report. Can you add any more to the description of the two men?
Oh, not with those masks they were wearing.
They're both under 6 feet, though.
Yeah. Oh, and I think they were in their 20s. I could tell from the way they moved and talked.
Miss Temple, I understand that you received a big shipment of stones from Holland the morning of the robbery.
Yeah, that's right.
Who knew about that shipment?
I guess everybody who works at Van Hoff. Oh, Mr. Jones, if you're thinking that this was, what is it that the police use that word?
An inside job.
An inside job. You're wrong.
Well, now tell me, supposing the two people were talking about the shipment the way we are now, and somebody else overheard the conversation.
Oh, Mr. Jones, I think I can vouch for the discretion of everyone in this office.
What about outsiders?
Outsiders?
Yeah, maybe somebody that works in your accounting firm, does your books?
The accounting firm consists of Mr. Keller, who's been here for over 25 years.
What about cleaning people at night?
Oh, the files are all locked before we leave. They'd have no way of finding out anything.
Lawyer? Retained by the firm?
Oh, well, you're welcome to talk to him if you want to. It's right down the hall.
What's his name?
Peter Harris.
Peter Harris.
Is there something wrong, Mr. Jones?
No. Something's right. Thank you. I would never have believed Los Angeles would go high-rise. On account of the earthquake. Beginning to look like New York City down here. I liked it better the other way.
Adobe.
I'm not quite that old. Mr. Harris! Took you up on your offer.
Come in, Mr. Jones.
Thank you. Say, you really had a grandstand seat, didn't you? Did you notice the way the leaper checked his watch?
No.
He checked it, and then he moved down to the corner of the building. I thought that was odd. Say, that is a beautiful case.
Yeah, thank you.
I've never seen one like this before.
Yes, I had it made.
Unusual lining.
Yes, I'm very fond of Paisley.
Did you notice the way his knee buckled just before he jumped?
No, I didn't.
It did. I checked it on the TV coverage. Did you know he was a circus performer?
No, actually, I never followed the story.
Funambulist. How do you like that word? Rope walker. A man like that has absolutely no fear of heights.
Look, Mr. Jones, if you've come up here to think out loud, I'm really quite busy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Window opens, isn't it? You could have called over to the Leaper, given him some legal advice. I'm going. Thanks for the view.
You sound happy. What happened?
Everything's starting to make sense. Have you heard from little Eddie?
Oh, when a call goes out for the best informant in the business, it doesn't take little Eddie long to answer. He's inside.
Eddie!
Hey, Barnaby. Thought you was out in the boondocks, raising turnips.
Sometimes I am, but it's not turnips. It's rutabagas, Eddie. Rutabagas.
Oh, sorry. They're all roots to me.
What'd you find out about Peter Harris?
Best lawyer in town.
More than that.
He likes Vegas a lot.
That's, what I mean. More like that.
I thought so. Got a juicy one for you. Harris dropped $50,000 in Vegas 5 months ago. Had to go and hawk to a so-called loan company to pay his markers.
How does he stand with a loan company?
Paid up.
When?
Yesterday.
Interest, too?
Right. All the juice. 200%.
150,000.
Nice business, huh?
Beats raising rutabagas. Thanks, Eddie.
Always wanted to do business with a gentleman farmer. Call me any time, Barnaby.
Yes, I wanted to give myself time to pack.
Pack for what?
Oh, didn't I tell you? No. We're leaving for Hawaii tomorrow morning.
What's the occasion?
Well, I didn't think we needed one, but if it'll make you any happier. Hey. What's wrong?
Oh, I don't know. It's just first the car, now the trip.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Peter, I'm not a child. You don't have to buy me things.
Oh, baby. I'll remember that, I promise you. After we come back from Hawaii.
I'll pack.
Sorry to bother you again, Mr. Harris. Your wife let me in. She is an attractive woman.
Why, thank you.
Say, I like this place. Better than your downtown office. What a magnificent trophy. Bighorn sheep. Vanishing species.
Yes, but I shot it years ago, Mr. Jones.
Oh, yeah, when shooting was still in style.
Who are you working for, Mr. Jones? The police?
No, I have my own business. Private investigation.
Oh, I see. You're investigating the robbery for the insurance company.
No, I'm investigating a coincidence. Jewel robbery occurred just about the time Roy Hazen fell to his death.
Well, I'm a lawyer, Mr. Jones, and I deal in facts, not coincidences.
That's funny. I know some lawyers who made a fortune turning facts into coincidences.
I'm not that kind of a lawyer.
And you don't like coincidences either.
I believe that the jewel thieves were probably waiting for just such an opportunity. Well, anything. That leaper, when he appeared, well, they simply seized upon him.
Then you don't see any connection between the leaper and the thieves?
Well, I don't see how, Mr. Jones, since the leaper is dead.
That's true. Interesting rifle. Telescopic sight. Takedown. Neat. .22 long rifle. Steel jacket. Isn't that kind of unusual for game? Makes a small hole, goes right through. You have to get a head or heart shot. You must be quite a marksman.
I used to be. I wonder if you'd excuse me now, Mr. Jones. I have some work to do.
Of course. Good day, Mr. Harris.
Good day, Mr. Jones.
That didn't take long.
Well, your husband's a busy man. I didn't want to take up too much of his time.
I guess he has a lot of things to do before we leave.
Going on a trip?
Why? Going there without swim fins and mask is like going to Palm Springs without a tennis racket.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Miss Harris, you know a man named Roy Hazen?
Roy Hazen. No. Why?
I thought he was a friend of your husband.
I don't think so.
I guess I was mistaken. Aloha.
Candyman.
You're late.
Better late than never.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Like what?
Like most of the stuff was too easily traced. The fence wouldn't touch it.
I knew you were gonna pull something.
I'm not pulling anything. I've got 100,000 here. 50 for you and 50 for me.
We don't like it.
Well, you can take it or leave it.
Just answer your questions. Now we're gonna go to your place and we're gonna take all of it.
Thanks, Jim. I'll have this fabric back in the morning.
There's no hurry. Say, I'm sorry the lab didn't have a better report for you, but his knee, the cap and all, was shattered. There was really no way to tell.
This may do it. It's a sidewalk concrete, and that's all.
What did you hope to find?
Traces of steel. The way I figure, Roy Hazen was shot through the knee with a steel jacket bullet. Smashed a kneecap and went on through, and I was trying to prove it.
Barnaby, according to the paper, that jewel robbery's been solved.
What?
It's a late edition, just arrived. It's a falling out among thieves. It says that two men must have gotten into an argument and shot each other.
3 pieces of the Van Hoff heist were found in the apartment. Police theorized the rest of the jewelry had already been fenced.
And that clears Peter Harris of the robbery. Pretty neat.
Very neat. Got to be something.
Where are you going?
To be a funambulist.
What did you find, Barnaby?
Evidence of pigeon. You got your case all wrapped up, Lieutenant?
Well, if I did, I wouldn't be retracing my steps to see if I've overlooked anything. Well, I'm afraid all I've got so far is a bunch of loose ends. Or maybe I should say loose threads.
What do you mean?
These were caught on one of the earrings in Frank Tilden's apartment, part of the Van Hoff loot.
Pretty color. What did your lab say about these?
Some kind of Italian silk.
May I keep these for about an hour?
Of course.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Yes.
Mr. Jones, to see you.
Tell him I'm busy. No, wait a minute. Ask him to come in. Well, Jones, you find that coincidence you've been after?
I like this view.
Yeah. I just saw you out there on the ledge. Find anything?
Yes. Yes, I did. And I can't help but admire this case of yours again. It is a beauty. Such fine silk.
You know, Jones, I just don't understand you. I mean, this robbery has been solved.
So the papers say.
And the jumper, the leaper, was a suicide.
Yes, but I don't believe all that.
What do you believe?
That it wasn't a coincidence. That you were the coincidence.
Wait, Jones. That's ridiculous.
I don't think so. Identical. I've got him. Betty, I've got him. Call Lieutenant Hager. Tell him to send a squad car to 806 Stone Drive in Bel Air.
What's wrong? Why are we leaving now instead of in the morning?
Go inside and check that we've got everything.
Peter.
Do it!
We're in a hurry, Jones. What do you want?
The police found these threads in Frank Tilden's apartment. They were caught on the back of some jewelry.
So? Why tell me?
Because it's curious. About an hour ago, I plucked some threads out of the lining of that custom-built briefcase of yours, and they match. The way I figure it, you held out 3 pieces of jewelry. You took them to Tilden's apartment. Then after you killed your 2 partners, you planted the jewelry so it would look like they killed each other fighting over the loot. Looks like I figured right.
Get up against the car.
I'm usually not much of a betting man, Harris, but I'll lay odds you never make it to that airplane this evening.
You'll never know one way or another, Jones.
Get in the car.
I guess you were smart not to take that bet after all.
Didn't kill himself. I just knew it. And I have you to thank for proving that. But why do you think he got mixed up in a robbery? Well, why do you think he did it?
Maybe he was looking for a shortcut to heaven. You?
Me?
And the way he figured, that took big money.
But I thought I had shown him that we didn't need much.
When a man loves you, truly loves you, that's sometimes a hard message to get across.
Barnaby Jones, starring Buddy Ebsen. Also starring Lee Merriweather. With guest stars Wayne Rogers, Dan Travanti, special guest star Stephanie Powers. Tonight's episode, Echo of a Murder.
you why you keep fiddling around with that dumb engine. Nothing ever works around here except me.
Well, Claire, the engine just stalled. I'll have it
And you
fixed in
know
a minute.
how I hate to sit in the sun. You know how bad it is for my skin. Well, if you think I'm gonna put up with this, you got another thing coming.
The wife of a man who owns himself a lodge, well, she don't expect herself to be down on her hands and knees scrubbing no floor.
Never asked you to scrub floors. It's not demeaning to be a hostess while meals are being served.
Well, I should hope not, because my daddy didn't raise me up to be no hired hand. If he could see me now, he'd have a fit.
Voice of hers. How it grates on my nerves.
I don't care what you deny. Not a day goes by you don't go snooping around that redhead. You and your fancy lodge. Ain't nothing but a hole in the wilderness. Ain't nothing to do out here. Ain't nobody out here but a bunch of old ladies and senile old men.
As a matter of fact, I think I'll just take me the next bus out of here, and I don't need no invitation from you.
Will you sit down in the boat?
Oh.
Just stop it, huh?
Looks like some late mail came in for you, Mr.
Stop that.
Don't do it! Don't tickle your hands over me!
Watch out what you're doing, huh?
What the devil's he doing to her?
Don't you let me go! Don't go out!
My gracious! See her.
Oh, crazy! That's all I know, Sheriff. The owner of the lodge, killing his wife out on the lake. Of course I saw it. It's plain murder.
Tom? It's been a long time.
Mr. Jones, thanks for coming up. I hope you don't think I was taking advantage just because I knew your son.
Oh, I'm always glad to hear from Hal's old friends.
He didn't do it, Mr. Jones. Gil, Mr. Atkins, it just didn't happen the way people are saying.
Has he been charged yet?
Last night, right after I phoned you, they're calling it a suspicion of murder.
Well, let's start out by your telling me everything exactly as you saw it.
Lon, excuse me.
Good.
Lon, I hate to disturb you with all this excitement going on, but my TV isn't working. Do you think you could fix it?
Yeah, I'll have it taken care of right away. It's those new jacks they put in.
Well, whenever you get the chance.
Now, what did you see, Lon?
Trouble is, I don't know exactly what I saw. I know they were arguing out on the lake, and then Gil's wife screamed, and everybody's saying Gil hit her with the oar, but it couldn't have happened like that. I know Gil.
Has he made a statement to the sheriff?
Gil swears he was just trying to keep her from falling out of the boat. And the oar, he was just trying to reach her with it, not hit her. Gil doesn't swim. Neither did Claire. That's Miss Renford. She's a guest. Would you like me to point out where it happened?
Mm-hmm.
They were just to the right of where the sheriff's boat is now.
About 100 yards from here.
Yeah, and at that distance, you can't see everything. That's what I told Mr. Wright.
We all like Mr. Atkins too, Lon, but that wife of his was a, well...
For a woman sleeping and drinking the day away, snappish even at a good morning? Our sympathies are with Mr. Atkins, but to a point, that is.
Don't misunderstand us, Lon, but anybody who carried on the way Mrs. Atkins did, especially yesterday morning.
Claire went up and barged right into Miss Renford's cabin. You could hear Claire's voice all over the lake.
What were they arguing about?
Claire thought Gil was paying too much attention to Miss Renford, but Gil's always looking after the comfort of every guest.
I take it you folks are all going to be appearing as witnesses against Mr. Atkins?
Yes. With all due respect to Lon's friendship for Mr. Atkins, the whole thing took place right in front of our very eyes. Seeing is believing.
You know, ma'am, I wasn't too old when my grandfather took me to see a young fellow named Harry Houdini, who was appearing in our town. And at an early age, I learned two things. One, you can't eat a hot dog and cotton candy at the same time. And two, believing everything you see is nearly as bad as having to see everything you believe.
Jones? Sure glad you could come. Lon's talked about you often.
Do they really ski in outfits like that these days?
Yeah, and I don't know where it's going to end. You talked to Lon?
Mr. Atkins, have you hired yourself a good lawyer?
A fellow named Fred Baumiller. He's a local attorney, but I'm sure he's all I'll need. After all, it's Lon's word against that of those guests, most of whom are at the age where I wouldn't trust their eyesight or their judgment.
I doubt if a friend and employee would outweigh impartial witnesses.
But they couldn't have seen me kill my wife. Mr. Jones, I jumped in the water and I don't swim. I held onto the side of the boat. I reached out my arm to her. I called her name. Those witnesses, they'll have to tell you that. They'll have to tell you that they heard me call her name.
Playing the devil's advocate, you could have been just a man who suddenly came to his senses and realized that he had killed somebody in front of a bunch of people.
Yes, I suppose it could be taken that way, but it wasn't. None of what they thought they saw happened.
What really happened?
She stood up in the boat. She'd been drinking that morning, and I was afraid she was going to fall over the side, just that.
The guests are saying you pushed her out of the boat.
She pushed away from me. Mr. Jones, what possible motive could I have for killing Claire?
Mr. Atkins, if I'm going to be working for you, I've got to have complete honesty. Now, don't tell me that there is no possible motive when you and your wife were constantly quarreling. And what about that attractive red-headed guest, Miss Renford?
All right. I'll admit, I probably was paying too much attention to Sharon Renford. And it's true. Claire and I did constantly fight. Mr. Jones, I probably made one of the biggest mistakes of my life when I married her. But do I look like the kind of a man who would lose his temper to the point that I would take an oar and brain my wife in full view of all of those people?
What were you doing out in the boat?
I was trying to show Claire where I thought we should put some small cabins along the shore, trying to convince her that it would pay off. The outboard had just stalled on me.
What about the oar?
Have you ever tried to take the end of a heavy oar and pass it to someone in the water? You hold it out, and it falls in. I swung that oar over my head in hopes that it would fall within her reach.
And the oar didn't hit her?
It fell short by at least a foot.
Lon says you didn't know your wife very long before you married her.
9 weeks to be exact. I used to go up to Vegas a lot to try to relax, forget about the lodge business. We met up there, and one thing led to another, and... Mr. Jones, I didn't know I was marrying an alcoholic. You wouldn't believe the change in that girl.
Well, it looks to me like your case depends on finding a couple of favorable witnesses. I'll inquire around. People have had a chance to sleep on what they saw.
Then you'll take the case?
From what I know up to this point, it would take a man with an uncontrollable temper to do what they say they saw you do. Not to mention a very stupid one, and that doesn't describe you. Well, times change. For the better. 50%, that's a pretty low rate of recovery.
Yeah, well, in my experience, we've had about, a dozen drownings. Recovered just about half of them. It's the currents. And over in the center of the lake, the bottom slopes down to subterranean levels.
scuba diver almost got swept under a ledge down there one time. We gave up using divers.
I can see why this lodge isn't all that popular.
Yeah, fewer people come up here each year. I know Mr. Atkins bought it cheap, but folks don't figure him to turn it around.
The bodies that you recover, where do you generally find them?
Well, after a couple of days, some of them show up over in Funeral Creek. Folks took to calling it that. It's a neck of water horseshoes itself around back of those trees.
Right about here is where she went down, isn't it?
Yeah, we should be just about over it.
The cottage over there, does that belong to the lodge?
Large property runs about a quarter mile past it.
The cedar waxwing.
Well, I'm very flattered.
That's a very good likeness. I'm Barnaby Jones. We almost met over some postcards this morning in the lobby.
I did think you'd come to visit me a little sooner, Mr. Jones.
Well, I wanted to talk to the guests who had made depositions first. See whether they're still as positive after a night's sleep.
And were they?
I'm afraid so. I see you're an ornithologist, Miss Renford.
Oh, no, just a casual interest in birds.
I'm a sort of an amateur one, by accident, to outwit Miss Wilhelm.
Miss Wilhelm?
My 7th grade teacher. She was an absolute bird nut. I used to collect demerits like you just couldn't imagine, so I tried to get on the good side of her. I signed up for bird studies in my hobby class.
How very clever of you.
Well, to make a long story short, I had to help her catalog the entire library file of birds, from Aberdivine to zebra finch.
Mr. Jones, I don't think when you decided to come and visit me, you wanted to discuss birds.
Well, let's just say that I was curious about where you were about the time of the boating mishap.
I was right here. I was photographing a flock of wild geese that were flying over at the time. I wasn't aware there was anything going on in the cove until I heard Mr. Atkins calling for Claire. And then I saw him clinging to the side of the boat.
Hey, that is a beautiful piece of equipment here. You mind if I look at it?
Oh, go right ahead.
Telescopic lens. Very handy. So, you caught some wild geese flying over, huh?
Yes, I hope they're in focus.
Why didn't you hear Clara when she screamed for help?
What?
You said that you heard Gil Atkins calling her name. There'd been quite an argument before that, loud enough to be heard all the way over to the lodge. You're 50 yards away from where the boat was. It seemed to me that your attention would have been attracted to the boat from the very beginning.
I heard voices naturally, but I didn't pay them any attention.
That's funny, Miss Renford. I took you for a person who had a very curious nature.
I was busy photographing the geese, concentrating on them.
Scream, struggle, according to the guests, and here you are with a front row seat.
She was a worthless tramp. Drunken shrew he married. Do you think I'd give one iota of evidence against Gil? Whatever happened, she drove him to it.
You saw it all, didn't you, Miss Renford?
You're not going to drag anything out of me in court. Gil deserves all the help he can get.
You're under a misconception, Miss Renford. I'm a private investigator employed to help Gil Atkins.
Oh. Well, I'm not even sure what I saw. I'm not even sure it was in focus.
You triggered the camera?
Yes, I wanted to get a shot of that tramp taking a pratfall.
You filmed the whole thing?
I'm positive it was all an accident. But I'm not adding to any evidence against Gil by giving anyone that film.
You're positive it was an accident. Gil Adkins is swearing it was an accident. Doesn't it occur to you, Miss Renford, that something you have on this film might prove it was an accident?
Couldn't have killed her knowing all those people were watching. It just doesn't make any sense.
Now there, Miss Renford, I couldn't agree with you more. Not making sense.
Do you think I'd testify to something I didn't see?
Mrs. Handley, your testimony is not being disputed. It's simply that your answer sounded like conjecture.
Nothing conjecture about telling exactly what I saw with my own 2 eyes, is there?
What's delaying your daughter-in-law?
Well, she'll be here. If she were going to be too late, she'd have called me.
I'll rephrase, Mrs. Handley. Is there any question in your mind that the distance to the boat and the fading light distorted what you were seeing?
Frankly, I wish there were some question. It isn't easy to be accusing someone of murder.
Madam, we are not accusing here. We are examining the circumstances surrounding the death of one Claire Atkins without prejudice. This is a hearing, nothing more.
Thank you, Mrs. Handley. Mr. Lon Stevens.
It only looked that way.
All we wish is a direct reply. Did you see Mrs. Claire Atkins being pushed or hurled from the boat?
It looked that way. It wasn't.
Mr. Stevens, either you saw such an act or you didn't.
I couldn't have, and nobody else could have. It only looked that way.
Did you see that oar strike Mrs. Atkins over the head?
Now listen.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens.
They sure shut him up in a hurry.
He's not telling him anything, except he's your friend.
I'd like to call on Mr. Benjamin Wright.
There's no doubt in my mind she was thrown from the boat. And the oar was picked up and swung at her head.
Did you see that oar strike her head?
Yes.
Did you see Mrs. Atkins then disappear beneath the water?
I did.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Now, Your Honor, I'd like to call Mrs. Ryan.
I got it.
Your Honor, before any more witnesses are called, I'd like to call to the stand Mr. Barnaby Jones, who wishes to place into evidence some movie film.
What kind of film?
Pictures of the boating mishap, Your Honor, filmed in its entirety.
How
You
could
know they
that
would
be?
do that?
They couldn't possibly have taken a film. The oar didn't touch her.
I think we can open the blinds now.
Mr. Atkins, you're looking at a damn fool.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Sorry.
That's
really.
all right, Mrs. Ryan.
You've made a lot of people very happy, Barnaby. Congratulations.
I think congratulations might be due Mr. Atkins. Right over there. may be the cleverest man I ever met.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Ryan. Thank you. Don't think a thing about it.
No, you were very nice about it. I don't think I'll ever trust myself either.
Hey, you know,
What?
I like Claire's looks a lot better.
Oh, you do? Oh, feels better. I've got an idea.
Well, if you ain't the most low-down husband I ever did see, treating a woman like a piece of dirt, ain't that the truth?
Got away clean. Nobody hurt. And $250,000 on its way. $250,000?
That's the figure.
I don't believe it.
I went over this in detail with Steve Kelton of Solar Insurance, and that's what you got coming.
Well, I remember an item in the escrow papers about the lodge insurance remaining in effect, but I never gave much thought to the policy being anything more than the usual fire and theft and sufficient liability.
The former owners had a lot of other business interests beside the lodge. They had a partnership clause in the policy which protected them in the event of loss of services.
Kind of an ugly thought that I'll profit by Claire's death.
Claire became your partner not only in marriage, but in fact when you added her name to the lodge title, a jointly owned venture in the eyes of the law.
That's right, I remember. At her insistence, everything I had, bank accounts, so on, became jointly owned. Poor Claire, she was such an insecure person.
I just thought I'd pass this information along to you, Mr. Atkins.
Well, I appreciate that. Incidentally, how'd you come by this information? Making inquiries?
I make a lot of routine inquiries when I'm on a case.
Of course. I'm still stunned. Mr. Jones, I know you're checking out today, and I know that Lon hired you, but I want you to send me the bill.
All right. I'm planning on doing a little fishing before we leave.
Fishing? For what?
Anything I can catch, Mr. Atkins? You notice anything?
I'm not exactly an authority on wild geese.
I'm not talking about the geese. I mean the way the picture jiggles a little.
I don't know that my hand would be any steadier trying to follow a gaggle of geese.
Now watch. Notice anything strange now?
I don't think so.
You're aiming your camera up at some geese. You hear a noise in the cove. You point your camera down there. Why no jiggle? Don't look at the people. Look at the end of the boat and the edge of the picture. Taken at 50 yards with a telescopic lens, hand held by Miss Renford, and it doesn't vary a hair. This camera was locked in position when she took these pictures.
Oh, she wouldn't have had enough time if she saw Claire was going to fall and wanted to get a picture of it.
If I were to ask Miss Renford, which I don't intend to, she'd say she used a tripod, which she forgot to mention.
Well, what do we do now?
Now we go fishing.
Gil, here's another letter asking a company discount. Maybe you should change your mind about turning down discount business.
Why is Jones using boat number 7?
That's the one he said he wanted.
If he talks about staying over, you tell him that we have everything under reservation from tonight on. Understand?
Gil? After Mr. Jones helping you, you don't want him around?
It's not that, Lon. It's just that I don't want to be reminded of Claire's accident.
I'm not too far away.
Let me see the fish, Dad.
One more. Dad's the biggest fishing bug in the world.
Terrific! I got it.
Well, we've got to get packing. Well, I hope the weather holds for you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Lon, got a question to ask you. I know you think a lot of Gil.
Oh, we've been through NAM together, Mr. Jones. I don't think I could have made it without Gil. I wasn't that much of a soldier.
You socialize a lot working for him?
Sure. I mean, drinking the lounge nights, talk over old times.
You must know his wife pretty well.
Claire? She wouldn't talk to me from the first day she got here. She just turned away like she hated me.
That's strange.
Oh, no, sir. She treated everybody the same.
Your guest, Miss Renford, did Gil know her before she came up here?
Well, I'm sure he didn't. Speaking of Miss Renford, better be hunting up a new TV jack for her. Nice seeing you again, Betty.
Nice seeing you, Bob.
Visit us again, Mr. Jones. Fall's best time for fishing.
I may see you before then. Like trying to grab a hold of a greased pig. You think you got him, and you got a handful of air.
Well, maybe I should pack up and leave tonight.
Oh, no. That's not necessary. We don't want to hurry anything. You talk to the guests, chat with them, say your goodbyes.
How long do you think we'll have to wait?
Shouldn't be more than a week. In the meantime, I'll put the lodge on the market. We'll get what we can get. You stay in Palm Springs.
All right.
What are you doing here?
I promised I'd fix her television set. You're her.
All of a sudden, he's Mr. Efficiency.
It was just a trick. It's
That's right. Just a trick. Nobody got hurt. And the insurance company can afford it. When I get the check, there's something in it for you.
That's what it was, the insurance?
Sure, that's all. $10,000 for you. Take off, live it up. You're not even involved. You don't know anything about it. You never did. And we'll call the $10,000 a loan from me to you that you never have to pay back. Hey, Lon, wait a minute.
You know me better than anybody, Gil. Do you think I'd ever cheat or steal?
It's all right. I'll talk to him. Hey, Lon! Lon, wait a minute! Lon, please! Lon, listen. Listen to me. I'm in this thing deep, and you're flushing me down the drain.
Gil, I'm all mixed up.
I'll say you're mixed up. You were pretty mixed up in the Kong Delta, too.
I know I owe you, Gil.
Owe me? I wiped your nose for 2 years. They took half a mortar shell out of my hide when I pulled you out of that mud hole.
I know, Gil, I know. See, I can't go along with you anymore.
What do you mean?
I gotta think, Gil.
Think? You never had anything to think with.
Maybe. Maybe you're right. But I know enough to stop when it comes to me doing something bad. I can't look the other way anymore, Gil. It's not like Saigon, when you were taking supplies out the back door and selling them to the black marketeers.
You don't know what you're talking about.
You couldn't make it honest. You never could do anything honest. Always spoiling things with your cheap tricks. That's you, Gil. Cheap. Lousy cheap.
Lon? 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 Lon?
Instead of another cup of coffee, what you need is a good night's sleep.
Betty. Last cup of coffee made just as done.
What? What? Tell me. Give me a...
Look at the length of the shadow of that oar. It's just about the same size as the oar. Well, the length of the shadow of this fishing rod, it's barely half the length of the rod itself.
I'm sorry, Barnaby. I don't get it.
You took these pictures of me about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Same time, same place, boat angle the same. Everything is the same except the shadows are shorter. I was right. That film was staged. They must have done it in the early spring when the lodge was closed and the lake was still deserted. They used the same boat, same engine. They even repainted the boat. Everything was the same. One thing they couldn't control was the seasons. Roses fade and shadows shift by Ebenezer Elliott.
What teacher was that?
Good old Miss Wilhelm. So now we know. And that little old statement I made at the hearing about optical illusions still stands. All those guests at the lodge who thought they were seeing Claire, what were they actually seeing? They said she was unsocial, that she drank and slept the day away, but they heard her. They heard her arguing with Sharon Renford in that cottage. Everybody heard Claire, but even Lon says he never knew her because she always avoided him.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that Sharon and Claire are the same person? Well, then, if that's so, why didn't they make it look like an accident from the very beginning instead of a murder?
Because a heavily insured Claire disappearing into the lake would have smelled like fraud. It had been long investigations, and the coroner might not even have certified death. No, our Mr. Atkins took the bold approach. He had eyewitnesses to an apparent murder, so he forced that hearing judge to examine the probable cause of death, never the question of death.
And so Claire, or Sharon, swam underwater to the shore, getting back to the cottage through the brush and the trees.
That's right. Hello, Steve Kelton, please. And you can bet that if I hadn't happened onto that stage film, they would have found a way to have some deputy sheriff just happen on it. Hello, Steve. Barnaby Jones. How would you like to save $250,000 on that Atkin policy? That's right. Hold up payment.
Good morning.
Hi.
How did it all go with Lon?
With Lon? Well, he was happy enough to leave last night. Why shouldn't he be? He's getting $25,000.
Is there something else wrong?
I heard from the insurance company. They're investigating further into Claire's background.
Well, let them investigate. She has no background. She has no family. She has nothing. She appeared from thin air, and she's going to disappear into the same thin air.
Ah. But that guy from the company said a very interesting thing. If they don't recover a body from that lake out there, they're not going to pay off for 7 years.
For 7 years? But what about all those people that saw Claire drowned?
Sudden change in their attitude. Almost overnight. Maybe something we overlooked. Or something Jones saw.
Gil, look, if this thing's going to start falling apart around us, maybe we ought to, drop it. Back out. It's not that important, really, is it? It's not as if we're losing anything we ever had.
Hey, you know the clothes that you wore as Claire? Where are they?
They're out back where you told me to bury them.
I think we should get rid of them. Why don't you go get them?
All right. You know, Gil, no one would ever find them. The rock covered them perfectly.
Said go get them.
Why, Gil? Lon knows. Lon knows. If what you're thinking is for them to find Claire's body in the lake, Lon knows.
Yeah, the secret's buried with him.
Yes, ma'am. We have your reservation right here. Just let us know when you'll be arriving. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Is Lon Stevens around?
No, sir. He's no longer with us.
Could you tell me where I can find him?
He left sometime last night for another job. You'd have to ask Mr. Atkins for any details.
Where is Mr. Atkins?
I believe he's driving one of our guests into the city.
Would that guest be Miss Sharon Renford?
Yes, sir.
How long ago did they leave?
Oh, I'd say about 30 minutes, sir.
Never mind casting off. I'm betting she's still alive. You're gonna need water in her lungs. Well, now, that is something I didn't figure, you're having a gun. But I guess it just proves that you never were quite sure of yourself right from the beginning. It's all over, Mr. Atkins. A man as smart as you has got to know that once you start swinging wild, everything goes downhill.
What did you tell the insurance company?
Among other things, to watch your next move. You do move fast, Mr. Atkins.
Why aren't the sheriff's men here?
As a professional, I have got to admire the way you put everything together, especially the play acting by Miss Renford here. She's quite a gal. And the way you use remote control on the camera. No third party, cuts down expenses.
You didn't call the sheriff, did you? You weren't that sure of yourself.
Don't you even want to know where you slipped up? Just a plain little boat oar, part of it.
I can't. Help me! I can't.
What do you know? There's one thing you didn't have to fake.
Help me!
Gil?
He killed Lon, you know.
That's what I figured when I called the police. They've got dogs out around the lodge now.
Nobody was supposed to get hurt.
It generally starts out that way. Real pretty.
Barnaby Jones, starring Buddy Ebsen, also starring Lee Merriweather, with guest stars Andrew Prine, Catherine Justice, Vincent Van Patten. Tonight's episode, Day of the Viper.
Set for the kill. He can smell the desert. That's his home. And he'd kill us to get there. Take the loot, Kevin.
No.
I said take it. Get him into the cage. Go on, boy. That's not bad. Now, tomorrow you'll go out to the mine and bring one back all by yourself. We'll have ourselves quite a collection by the time we're finished.
Why? You know I hate those things. Why do you make me keep them around?
So you'll learn to face what you're afraid of. No matter what it is. When I'm gone, you're going to have to make your way alone. I just want you to grow up, to be a man. Anyone would want that for his son.
I'm not your son.
You sure don't let me forget that sometimes. But like it or not, I'm responsible.
You don't really care about me. I'm just something you think you can make into whatever you like. I wish I never came here.
You're going to regret those words one day, Kevin.
No, I'm not.
Kevin?
Operator. Operator.
Sorry I'm late. I was held up in court. Anything urgent come up?
Liza Mills is here. I told her she could wait inside. She seemed pretty upset. Here's the coffee I promised you, Liza.
Thanks, Betty. Since I've been standing there, exactly 113 cars have gone by that window, and that's just east to west.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to keep you waiting that long.
Oh, you didn't. What I mean is, 60 miles from here in the desert, we don't see that much traffic in a whole month.
I'm sure you want those trial notes typed.
Please.
Excuse me.
Well, Eliza, sit down. You know, I haven't seen you since you were the brightest student in a sociology class at Pacific Western College. At least you were the only one who seemed to understand my lecture.
Well, I'm afraid I haven't made much use of all that complicated education.
I hear you went back to the ranch.
I felt I should help Papa try to make a go of things. We never hit it rich, but we managed to get along. Till Papa died.
Yes, Betty told me. I'm sorry, Eliza.
I had to be in L.A. to take care of some legal business with the estate. I remembered your office was nearby, so I came up to say hello and hear a few kind words.
I'm glad you did. Is that all?
No. I haven't been able to sleep very well lately. Thoughts come and they keep me awake.
What kind of thoughts?
About what a careful man Papa always was.
Accidents happen, Liza.
I know. It was an accident. That's what they all said at the inquest. But I couldn't help wondering, since my stepbrother Kevin almost got bitten last month, Papa made sure that we each had our own snake bite kit. He kept his in the den bathroom. It was missing on the day he was killed.
Did you mention that at the inquest?
Yes, they said it wasn't evidence of anything, that he could have mislaid it. Oh, that's true. I mean, Papa could have lost it anywhere on the ranch. But I can't get rid of these thoughts. I need help, Barnaby. Someone to show me for sure that it was an accident. So I can sleep again. I found him in here when I came home at 7. The snake was still in the room. According to the coroner, Papa died somewhere between 5 and 6.
I wonder how come he didn't call out for help.
There wasn't anyone who'd hear. Kevin was the only one at home. He'd gone to his room. He didn't even know what had happened until after I came home.
You could have gone out looking for him, or used a telephone.
Papa had a cardiac condition. The coroner said that the shock of the snake bite might have brought on a heart attack. Papa might have died before he could call for help.
Liza, did your father have strong words with anyone on or off the ranch recently?
My papa was a strong man, Barnaby. He had strong ideas about the way people ought to live, especially those close to him, like Kevin. And Kevin, well, sometimes he'd get his back up and explode if he felt Papa was pushing him too hard.
Did it ever get violent?
What you're asking is, could Kevin have ever harmed Papa? The answer's no. With all the arguing, Kevin worshiped Papa. Papa took him in when he was an orphan. All Kevin ever wanted was for Papa to look on him as his own son.
Hey there.
Oh, I'm glad you're back. Jim Howard, meet Barnaby Jones.
Oh, howdy. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't be here to meet you, Mr. Jones. Liza's told me a lot about you. Listen, I saw Mr. Meadows at the land office, and he's going to try to find a buyer for the property.
Oh, you're planning on selling the ranch?
Well, Liza is. I just take orders. Well, we're married anyway. Then I get to be the boss, at least on national holidays. In the meantime, I could eat 10 horses.
Oh, well, would you settle for some very large hamburgers?
You talked me into it. Would you stay for lunch, Mr. Jones?
Well, I'm afraid I can't today, thanks. I want to see the sheriff before I go home.
In that case, I get his hamburger.
If you're that hungry, I better get started. I'll let you know when they're ready.
Okay. What do you want to see the sheriff about, Mr. Jones?
I just want to check out a few facts. Eliza wants to make sure your father's death was an accident.
I know that it's difficult for Liza to face the fact that her father's dead, but he is. Now, I think that the best thing for her is to get back to a normal life.
Well, her father was killed in his own home by a rattlesnake, which isn't exactly a normal event.
Mm-hmm. Well, playing private eye isn't going to bring Mr. Mills back either.
Mr. Howard, I play at a lot of things. Horseshoe pitching with a neighbor's grandchildren. Odd game of poker now and then. I even take a crack at the crossword puzzle in the Sunday paper. But I never play with murder.
Murder? Well, that's the first time that word's come up.
And maybe it'll be the last time.
But you don't think so?
I want to tell you about a fact I learned when I was 8 years old, exploring the hills with my daddy. A rattlesnake will usually give out a very loud warning just before it strikes, because it doesn't want to tangle with people any more than we want to tangle with it. I don't mind telling you, but those things make me a little nervous. Very good. I don't think I'd have the nerve to get within 2 miles of one of those.
Sure. He would have been real proud of me.
Your father?
He wasn't my real father. My father died a long time ago.
Yes, I know what it feels like to lose someone you love, even though you didn't see eye to eye all the time. You know, I used to collect snakes when I was about your age. Nothing as deadly as these, though.
Yeah, my stepdad used to save them for some lab so they could take the venom. Who are you? Really?
Barnaby Jones, private detective. I'm out here to find out about Mr. Mills' death.
You think my stepdad was murdered?
Now, why did you ask me that question?
That's what detectives do, isn't it?
Well, this particular detective is happier when he's getting people out of trouble, not getting them in.
I guess I'm in trouble.
Why?
Because I'm the one who gets blamed when things go wrong. I'm incorrigible.
Incorrigible? Who told you that?
It was in my report at the foster home before I came here. If my stepdad was murdered, people are going to say I did it.
Incorrigible is an awful big word that I think some people use when they don't know how to deal with a young man of spirit.
Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks.
That's right, Kevin. It's what you know inside that counts. This a picture of the bar glass?
Right, sir. We found it on the victim's carpet. Now, the lab reports that there was no whiskey in the glass, only water.
Bill, I think it's time to make a highway ride.
Oh, yeah. Right, Sheriff.
It's like you and my deputy are hitting it off right well. Maybe you and me ought to get introduced.
Barnaby Jones, private investigator. Liza Mills hired me to look into her father's death.
You figure us country folks can't conduct an investigation.
No, I'm a country boy just like you, Sheriff.
I've been watching, and you've been handling this pretty smart. The way you let people figure that the investigation was closed and then bringing out these clues one at a time.
Clues?
Yeah, like this lab report. Andrew Mills had his regular whiskey at 5 o'clock every day. If there was only water in the glass, that means that the rattler could have struck between the time he put in the ice and the time he reached in the cabinet for the whiskey.
So you think the snake might have been hiding in the liquor cabinet?
Could be. That would explain why Andrew didn't get any warning before the snake struck.
Now, just how do you explain how a snake gets inside a closed liquor cabinet?
I don't know, unless somebody put him there.
Why'd anybody want to kill Andrew Mills? Didn't have anything worth stealing.
Well, he had the ranch, he had a few head of cattle, some horses.
He had 3,500 acres of sand, scrub, and rattlesnakes. Well, that's hardly worth insulting a man for, let alone killing him.
What about that mine your deputy mentioned?
Silver. That's played out 50 years ago. Andrew Mills was planning to put up some kind of industrial development on the site.
Well, wouldn't that have increased the value of the land?
Maybe. But murder, that's a pretty big step to take when you're not even sure it's going to pay off. And in the end, there's only two people who'd cash in on it. Andrew Mills' children. You say one of them did it?
Not necessarily. Andrew Mills' death was probably the end of any possibility of industrial development around the mine, which might have been exactly what somebody wanted.
Why?
I don't know why. Any more than I know how a rattlesnake got into a liquor cabinet by himself, or how a man can't open the door of his own den, or how an anti-venom kid gets up and walks away.
That's a whole lot of no answers.
Yeah, we sure got ourselves a whole lot of questions.
Kevin? Liza told me you were headed down to the mine. She's worried.
I could take care of myself.
Well, that's what I told her, but you know, your sister's no one to argue with.
I'm going in the mine.
Now, Kevin, you know there are rattlesnakes in there. You almost got bitten yourself a while back.
I know. That's why I've got to go in there. I've been afraid to go back in there. My dad said I'd have to face down my fears or I'd never have any peace.
You know, comes a time in a man's life when he stops trying to prove that his life is worth something. He goes out and he lives his life.
That man who was here, Mr. Jones, he's here to find out if my stepdad was murdered.
Kevin, in the world we live in, nobody cares about truth or lies or innocence or guilt. When something bad happens, they look for somebody to blame. Usually somebody who can't answer back or can't fight back by themselves.
What do you mean?
This Mr. Jones doesn't owe us anything. He's out to find himself a killer, and he might decide that you're as good a candidate as anybody.
I didn't kill my father.
I know you didn't. Just like I know how careful you were about those snakes. I know that you made sure every one of them were back in their cages and that you shut the cage doors just like you were supposed to. I know you didn't forget and leave one of them out by mistake.
Kevin? Kevin, you all right? Hey, I thought we were friends.
Mr. Jones, I think I killed my stepfather.
How?
There was a rattler missing the day my father was killed. I can't be sure if I closed the cage or not.
When did that thought come to you?
Today. Well, I was at the mine and Mr. Howard came by. I don't know how it came up, but he knows I didn't leave the cage door open.
He just wanted to reassure you, is that it?
Yeah, I guess so. But it made me feel worse. Because I couldn't be sure I closed the cage. My dad and I had a fight. I wished he was dead. And he was dead.
Kevin, I think you closed that cage. And even if you didn't, it's not likely that snake could have found its way into your father's den.
I wish Mr. Howard could have told me that.
Kevin, Mr. Howard is a smart man, but maybe he doesn't know everything.
You all right?
Yeah, for a fellow who was almost a meal for a bunch of rattlesnakes, I'm fine.
I saw you headed for the mine, and I came up to warn you. Don't you know about those snakes?
Yeah, I knew they were in there. What I didn't understand was how come a couple of them showed up behind me just as I was leaving.
Well, Mr. Jones, the only thing I know about rattlesnakes is they got the right of way.
Lucky thing I found that kerosene lantern. Wonder how it got in a mine that nobody uses anymore.
Kevin comes up here quite a lot.
Yeah, I noticed you spent a little time here, too.
Just surveying the property. Liza's eager to get it sold.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about that. I stopped by the real estate office today, and it seems that the price that you're asking is about 3 times more than the amount that anybody ever paid for land in this area before. Almost looks as if you're trying not to sell.
Why would I want to do a thing like that?
I don't know. Just like I don't know what a nest of rattlesnakes is doing in that mine when they weren't there a month ago.
Who told you that?
Liza. I stopped by to ask directions to the mine. She said Kevin had been exploring it for years. Never saw any snakes till this last month when he was almost bitten.
Well, like I said, I don't know a thing about rattlers.
You do know they can kill a man.
We'd all be smart to know that, wouldn't we, Mr. Jones? I'd hate to see what happened to Mr. Mills happen again.
I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Howard.
I wonder if you could issue me a card so that I could take this out for a day or so?
Sure. Rattlesnakes of the American desert. I hope you don't intend this for late night reading, Mr. Jones.
How did you know my name?
My brother is president of Desert Wells Land Company. And when I saw you coming out, I asked him, Lucas, who is that handsome man you were talking to? And he said that's Mr. Barnaby Jones, the famous investigator.
Well, that's very flattering of you, Miss...
Deborah Meadows.
Meadows.
If it's the local kind you're interested in, I could probably tell you as much as that book can.
Well, maybe you could. The desert rattler. Do they usually make their nests in caves or mines?
No, you'd be more likely to find them out in the open where they can hunt natural game for food.
Well, supposing that somebody put a bunch of rattlers in a cave and wanted to keep them there, is that possible?
You can do that if you brought food to them.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Meadows. You've been a great help. I don't think I'll be taking this book after all. This was only taken out once in the last year.
That's right. It was last month.
Who took it out? I mean, do you have records? I'm just curious.
I don't have to do that. I remember checking it out to that nice young man who was going to marry Liza Mills, Jim Howard.
Mr. Howard? Liza told me you were coming into town to buy some tools, figuring on doing some digging.
Putting up some new fencing. Anything wrong?
Oh, nothing all that serious. I just want to tell you that it's a pleasure to meet somebody these days who is modest about his attainments.
Well, if you're talking about me, I'm not sure I deserve the compliment.
Oh, I think you do. You told me you didn't know anything about snakes. I bet you picked up a barn full of facts from this.
You know, you're quite a detective, Mr. Jones.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I just go poking around. People kind of throw things my way.
Oh, no. I'd say that you were very, very good. You know, if I was a man with a guilty conscience, I'd be awfully worried if I had you coming after me.
Well, you don't seem to be worried.
I'm not. You see, I took out that book, but not for myself.
What'd you take it out for?
For Kevin. He was becoming interested in the subject, and I thought he'd like the book.
Well, it was very kind of you.
I thought so myself at the time, but now I'm not too sure.
Lieutenant Hager just called. He checked with the Records and Identification Division. There is no criminal record for anyone named Jim Howard.
I kind of expected that. Betty, let's check on these prints. He grabbed the book with both hands, so there should be a perfect set.
Do you think he has a record under another name?
I think Mr. Howard is a very smart man who isn't worried at all that I'm not buying his act. And that's what worries me.
Maybe he doesn't have anything to be worried about.
Maybe. Maybe he's figured out a way to cover up his tracks, which means somebody else is in danger.
Matador's gone. I had to put him away.
You had to do what?
Well, he was getting old and sick. He wasn't working out anymore. I had to get rid of him.
He was my horse. My dad gave him to me.
Yeah, well, that's all over now, Kevin. For whatever time you're going to be here, you're going to have to do things my way.
What do you mean for whatever time I'm going to be here?
You know, your stepdad was very worried about you, Kevin. He talked to me about sending you away to some kind of school.
School? You mean an institution?
A place where you could get some help.
You think there's something wrong with me?
I'm just telling you what your dad said.
You're a liar. My dad wasn't gonna send me any place. He wouldn't have let the kill Matador either. If I was a man, I'd...
Jim, what happened?
Oh, it's nothing, honey. Kevin was a little upset, that's all.
Kevin break these dishes.
Well, it was my fault. He's been very disturbed since your father died. I tried to get him to let his feelings out a little. I should have left him alone.
Sometimes I think Kevin's gonna be all right, and then he blows up like this. And now with Dad gone, I'm just afraid he's gonna get worse.
Oh, honey, come on. Listen, we've got to stand by him now. We can't turn our backs on him.
I can't help worrying about all of this.
Well, don't you worry, honey. I'm here now.
The report on the prints came back from R&I division.
So, Mr. Howard does have a record after all. 2 years in federal prison under the name of Jim Howard Haig.
Your intuition was right.
Yeah, but that's like having a $10,000 car with a broken wheel. It looks beautiful, but won't get you down the driveway. Mr. Haig did time for mail fraud and still doesn't prove murder.
Well, maybe there wasn't any murder, Barnaby. Maybe Mr. Haig tried a life of crime, fell flat on his face for his trouble, picked himself up after 2 years, decided it would be better to lead a simple but honest life, married to a rancher's daughter.
I'm a suspicious old man with a deep distrust of human nature.
Oh, of course you're not, but, well, you still haven't found a motive for murder.
You may be right, Betty, except for one thing. According to Lieutenant Hager, James Howard Haig was released from prison 3.5 months ago. 2 days later, he shows up in Desert Wells.
What are you saying, Barnaby?
I'm saying that's a long way to go in a short time unless he got a reason. And he may have found that reason while he was in jail. Betty, call my friend Gil Carter at San Quentin. He's assistant to the warden. Ask him to run a check on the activities of James Howard Haig while he was in prison, especially who his friends were and what they were sent up for.
Barnaby, I called your office. Betty said that you were coming out.
What's the matter, Liza?
It's Kevin. I think that he had something to do with Dad's death.
Liza, do you know what you're saying?
Yes.
What happened?
You remember asking what happened to Dad's snake bite kit? Why he didn't have it with him when he was bitten?
Yeah.
I found this morning. It was in Kevin's room.
Kevin? Barnaby Jones. Where are you going?
Getting out of here.
Well, if you're going to do some traveling, you're going to need money. And you're going to need friends wherever you go.
I don't need friends.
Everybody needs a friend, Kevin. We said we were going to be friends, you and I. We can't go back on that.
Why do you want to be my friend? Everybody thinks I killed Mr. Mills.
Not everybody.
You think I'd be afraid to do it?
Murder doesn't take courage, Kevin. It takes a certain kind of cowardice, and you're not a coward.
What'll I do?
Let's go out there. The two of us. Show folks we're not running away.
You called him here.
No, he didn't. I did, Kevin. For your sake.
You better come on down to the office with me now, son.
You're a warrant, Sheriff.
I'm not arresting anyone, Mr. Jones. Kevin and I are old friends. We're just going to have a nice, friendly little chat.
You know, you don't have to go, Kevin.
Thanks, Mr. Jones. Guess it's best if I do what the sheriff wants.
You've come a long way from San Quentin, Mr. Haig.
I'd expect a good detective like you to find that out.
How long do you suppose it would have taken Liza to find it out?
Well, why don't we ask her? Liza, Mr. Jones has become interested in my background. Now, would you please tell him what I told you about me?
I know about Jim's prison record, Barnaby, if that's what you mean.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
Jim deserved a new chance.
Well, so you're off the hook and Kevin is on.
I'm sorry about Kevin, Mr. Jones. Now, he needs understanding, and we're going to see that he gets it.
It's very noble of you. Of course, some people might say that nobility is the last refuge of liars.
Are you calling me a liar?
I'll let you know when this is over.
It's over now, Mr. Jones. Liza won't be needing you anymore.
Well, Kevin does. And as long as I've got a client, I think I'll hang around. When can I talk to Kevin?
Oh, as soon as the sheriff gets through talking to him. Your move. Sheriff's Department, Bailey here. For you.
Yeah.
Barnaby, I just got a call from your friend at San Quentin, Mr. Carter. It seems that Jim Howard Haig's cellmate for 18 months was a man named Louis Whitaker. Does that mean anything?
It could mean everything. Thanks. Where can I get a surveyor's map of this area?
Over at the land company office.
Be back in 10 minutes. Tell the sheriff I want to talk to him.
Hey, Barnaby, don't you want to finish the game? I just jumped your king.
So you finally found it, Mr. Howard. Was it worth it?
How did you get in here?
Same way you did. When I found out who your cellmate was, I knew what those rattlesnakes you put down here were guarding. I figured there was another way to get into the mine. You went to a lot of trouble, Mr. Howard. Too bad it won't buy you anything but a prison cell for the rest of your life.
There's no law against looking for stolen money.
And you don't mind turning it over. Don't touch it.
I didn't mean to kill Mills.
Until he got in your way. You knew that Lou Whitaker buried the loot down in this mine somewhere, but you didn't know the exact spot. Then when you found out that Mills was planning to develop this site, you knew that meant sealing the mine and probably covering over the money forever, so you had to stop him.
Look, there's over $300,000 in here. Why don't we split it? We could both live good for the rest of our lives.
I already live good, Mr. Howard, and I don't need to be rich to do it. It has to do with other things. You had a chance at those things and you threw them away. A woman who loved you, a boy that you could have befriended, an old man that gave you a chance at a new life. You had it all. You threw it away for nothing.
Drop it. It's my turn now. I'm sorry, Mr. Jones, but in the game we're playing, nice guys really do finish last.
That's what you were doing, wasn't it? Playing a game.
What else is there? I'm bit. I'm bit! You bit me! You gotta get some help! Don't let me die.
What's the matter, Mr. Howard? Game getting a little too rough for you? Mr. Joe! In here, Sheriff! You got here just in time, Sheriff. Money's over there in that box.
What happened to him?
One of his namesakes got to him. You can arrest him for the murder of Andrew Mills.
Take him in. It's an interesting job you got.
I'm just a country boy like you, Sheriff, trying to get through the day.
Hi, Barnaby.
Hi. I was driving down the highway, looked at my watch, noticed it was lunchtime, and thought I might come in here and reclaim that hamburger I turned down once.
You know you're always welcome. Did you see Jim?
Yes, he's recovered. He made a full confession.
I was a fool, wasn't I?
No, you're human. No sin to fall in love with someone, no matter who it is.
Kevin, Brenda used to see you. Glad you came by, Mr. Jones.
I don't want to interrupt your work.
Oh, no. I'm just finishing up on those fence posts. We're gonna be right on time to finish the whole thing by winter. We're gonna do good if the weather keeps up and if we can get a loan for some new equipment.
I think you're going to do just fine.
Mr. Jones,
Yes, Kevin.
how do you thank somebody who saved your whole life?
You already have. How about those hamburgers?